Now that I can do a proper intro, I'm Celeste, and you are watching Hexen Arcane. Ooh, it's windy. Sorry if the sound is a little off because it is so windy here, but this is part 2 of King of the Wild. So we're doing another 4 episodes in this one of King of the Wild, titled Pit of Peril, Creeping Doom, Sealed Lips, and Jaws of the Jungle. So this is sounding really good. I'm still trying to figure out my style. I discovered I like unicorns and rainbows and bright colored things. So I'm hanging out here on the beach. I think I'm going to do some snorkeling. And I'm going to give you a little bit of the place that I'm at right now in a minute. And maybe some fish if I can get my underwater camera to work, because yes, I have an underwater camera. So if you haven't seen the first part, go watch that first. Otherwise, you might be a little lost on the story, but I'm really actually enjoying this serial, and for the time, I think it was pretty well done, all things considered. So I'm enjoying this one a lot. I'm enjoying the beach, and I'm trying to learn a little bit more about myself. I'll be doing a little more self-exploration in a little bit, trying to maybe get a hold of anybody I know back at home, see if I can figure that out too. Anyway, you guys, please enjoy the beginning of the 5th part of the serial, which is titled, what is the first one I said? Pit of Peril. So we are going now into Pit of Peril, and enjoy.
A tiger which he was hunting slew the Rajah of Rampur, and the stroke of its paw has changed the destiny of Robert Grant, a young American who bore a strange resemblance to the Rajah. To save the Rajah's people from the evil intentions of Prince Dakar, Grant assumed the dying ruler's identity until the rightful heir could arrive and take command. Dakar's confederate, a hunter named Harris, accused Grant of having murdered the Rajah. Proof of Grant's innocence exists in the form of a letter written by the Rajah, which will also convict Dakar of plotting against the throne. An agent of Dakar, a Swede named Peterson, is trying to recover the letter so that his master may destroy it. But the letter has come into the possession of Mustafa, an Arab innkeeper, who knows where he can dispose of it to his own advantage. Mustafa knows that Muriel Armitage, who has been arrested on a murder charge, is interested in helping Grant to recover the letter. He sends his man Ilderin to call on Muriel in prison and offer her the letter, in exchange for telling him the location of a rich diamond deposit. A mysterious man wearing black glasses steals up outside the cell window with a gun in his hand.
Now, you will tell where the diamonds are hidden.
Well, there.
He's dead. She's the murderer.
No, I didn't do it.
You take her to the inspector's office. What happened here? Where is it?
Meanwhile, Grant, disguised as a Hindu, has visited Harris's animal compound in the hope of recovering the letter. Peterson is there on the same errand, and both are trapped by Harris among the animal cages. In one cage is Harris's ferocious ape-man, Beanie, trained to obey his master.
You saved my life, Chan. Peterson, you fool. That isn't Chan. Well, he's your worst enemy. What you talking about? That's Robert Grant. And he tricked you into giving him that letter. What lies you speak? Yes, but this man is no white man. Open his shirt and see for yourself. Oh, we see. Do as he says. Plain killing is too good for him. I know a better way to handle him. God, never mind. I want to get that letter, then I'll send him back to prison, where I sent him once before. That letter he had was not real. It was a fake. So did you make a copy of it? No. Well, then there is no copy. He had the original, the one that belonged to me. Come on, give me a hand.
Your carelessness in allowing the prisoner to smuggle this weapon into prison will cost you dearly.
But I tell you, I did not have the gun. It was thrown in through the window by the person who fired the shot.
Can you describe that person?
No.
You're still determined to withhold the errand which sent the Arab to see you.
Well, I know. I have been warned that if I tell, my brother will pay for it with his life.
You believe that threat?
After what has happened, yes. I told Mr. Wainwright, and 3 hours later he was murdered.
You know who killed Wainwright?
Here is the man who killed Wainwright.
According to our records, Wainwright was killed by a white man.
This man is white under the stain that covers his face. You may have difficulty in proving the murder, but you will have no difficulty in returning him to prison at Rampur, where he was serving a life sentence.
He has a record?
Yes. This man is Robert Grant, the American, who tried to steal the throne of the Rajah of Rampur. That's a lie, Harris. There's a letter in existence written by the Rajah which proves my innocence. Yes, and where is the letter?
I have it.
How did you get it?
The Arab gave it to me for the information that he wanted.
Why did the Arab think this was of any value to you?
He knew that I would do anything I could to help Mr. Grant.
I think I understand. Under the circumstances, I'll have to return Grant and this letter to Rampur by the boat which sails tonight.
Why, that's exactly what I've been working for.
Return the prisoner to her cell. Put Grant under guard. Many thanks, Harris. I may call on you again for more information.
Very well. Yes, anytime. This room, Inspector. You were leaving on the boat that sails tonight, Peterson?
What's the use? Without that letter for Prince Decker, they got no business in Rampur.
What staterooms you have?
D-47.
D-47.
Well, I hate to do this, Grant, but I can't afford to take chances.
Well, it's okay with me. You don't want to get to Rampur with that matter half as much as I do.
At least I can give you the berth of honor.
Well, thanks. It's something anyhow.
tell you, I was not on that ship last night. They changed my mind and didn't sail.
This radiogram says...
I don't care what says, no radiogram. I was not on that boat. Just wait till comes Mr. Harris. He can prove it.
Mr. Harris will be here any minute. We shall see. Here he is now.
Ah, there you are, Harris. Please tell that policeman where I was last night.
I'm afraid I don't know what it's all about, Inspector.
They are trying to tell me I killed a man last night on a ship I didn't sail on.
Murder?
You may as well know the rest, Mr. Harris.
I never would have suspected my friend capable of such a crime.
That's hardly the point, Mr. Harris. Mr. Peterson asked us to send for you. Said you could prove an alibi for him.
Only you shouldn't have dragged me into this. You know I know nothing of your move last night.
What? You say that to me?
You don't expect me to perjure myself, do you? I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about where Mr. Peterson was last night. He told me he was sailing. If he didn't...
You are lying, you devil. Lying you to get me out of the way. You would see me hanged for murder just because you think I would interfere with your plans. You...
Take him back to a cell.
My time will come. I'll get you out. You'll see, there goes. There's the man we're after.
It is useless, Harris. None but an Oriental can solve an Oriental's magic.
You know what I ought to do to you?
Yes, but I am too valuable to you. If I can succeed where you have failed, I should be worth much to you.
You think you can bring back the writing on this paper?
I know many tricks.
What's your price?
The use of your ape-man Bimmy.
To do what?
The Armitage girl is in prison. If she were in my quarters, I think she'd tell where the diamond is.
Go ahead. Get busy.
When I have the girl, it will be plenty of time for this.
A fine bargain. I bring you the girl, and then you say you can't bring back the writing.
Don't forget, my friend, that even if I do fail to bring back the writing, you do seek the information about the diamond. We are still partners.
It's a bargain. But don't you try to double-cross me this time, Mustafa. trail out this way.
I may not remember much, but I do remember that I'm a travel blogger. So I am here at a beach. It's called Ala Moana Beach, and it is right next to Waikiki, but it's nice, it's pleasant, it's way less touristy. There's lots of good parking. So I'm here instead of Waikiki just because it's very similar. There's not a lot of waves or anything, so it's a nice chill beach. And there's more local people than tourists here, so I don't like crowds that much. I'll give you a quick view, because the nice thing is that this is all man-made, but they blocked off the ocean a bit, making it very nice, calm, and peaceful area to hang out. Also, I left out that whoever's suitcase I took has clothes and stuff that fit me. I don't know if this was my style, but it is now. And I'm enjoying that. I'm going to chill out on the beach. The person also had a Kindle, so I'm going to see what kind of books that she has in here and soak up some sun, read a bit, go swimming in the water, and generally enjoy myself. So I will talk to you guys soon. Well, I'm chilling and relaxing on the beach. This is awesome. Reading a good book. So this is turning out to be a pretty good vacation, and I am actually pretty happy that I decided to be a travel blogger. My method's working out for me because I didn't know where it was going to end up, but I actually ended up back on Oahu, and who could ever turn down Hawaii? So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm borrowing and liberating suitcases from people. If you haven't watched previous episodes of travel blogging, I just my method is to just go to the airport and just anything I find unattended, I just take somebody's luggage. I usually end up with a ticket somewhere, and I never know where, and I end up with a suitcase, and it seems to generally work out. The only thing I haven't learned from my experiences is that I should start packing like my own toothbrush and deodorant, because using somebody else's is a little off-putting. I still do it, but it's off-putting. So that's something I got to consider for next time. But I got these cool shades, sun visor, a swimsuit that fits me. I'm hanging out on the beach in Hawaii, so who could complain about that? Besides the mild headache I still have, but you know what I decided to do? I decided to Google Lens myself, my face, and I figured out that in addition to being a travel blogger, which is about the only thing I really remembered about myself, I'm also a horror host. So in addition to blogging about my trip, I will be, well, video blogging, I will be hosting a movie for you guys, because, you know, that's what I do apparently. I'm trying out new fashion styles because I'm not sure what I connect with anymore. I changed my hair a little bit. I'm vibing with what I got going on here, and maybe if my memories come back, I'll go back to being the, I guess, witch that I am known to be. But right now, I'm hanging out on the beach in tropical paradise, so who could complain? But talking about this movie a little bit, not exactly the movie, but I was interested in Boris Karloff. It sounded familiar enough that I was like, I feel like this is something I liked, is Boris Karloff. So I looked into it and learned a little bit about him. So I'm going to just share a little bit. So he's 5'11", which is really tall, at least in my estimation. So he's a very tall man. He was born on November 23rd of 1887 in London, and he died in February 2nd of 1969 in the UK as well, and he was 81 years old when he died, and he actually died of pneumonia, which is awful. I had pneumonia this year, and it was horrible. Like, I was so sick. You know, and that's something I remember. I remember having pneumonia. So I don't exactly remember my identity, but I remember some stuff about my life, which is really cool. It's coming back to me. And he did a lot of movies, like so many things. He is involved in so many projects. So he was a really prolific actor. And I think that's really cool how many things he was involved in. So he actually had appeared in 80 films before he got his breakthrough role in 1931 in Frankenstein. So 80 films before he really got that popularity. He celebrated his 51st birthday during the production of Son of Frankenstein in 1939. So he was, by the time he got his breakthrough role, he was already in his 40s, or early 40s. And at the time, he said he received the best birthday present ever, which was the birth of his daughter, Sarah Karloff. And he rushed from the set to the hospital in full costume and makeup. According to his daughter, he had 3 major back surgeries in his lifetime as a result of carrying Colin Clive up the stairs of the windmill at the climactic scene in Frankenstein. So apparently the carrying him up the stairs was back-breaking. He had chronic back troubles throughout his adult life, partly because of the heavy brace he had to wear as part of his Frankenstein costume. So I thought that was really interesting that even though this was his breakthrough role and he really put a lot into it, he really got really famous from it, it took a huge toll on him as well. But he kept active throughout his life. He tried not to let it slow him down. He was Christopher Lee's neighbor for many years, which would be really cool. Can you imagine going out in your yard and hearing Christopher Lee's voice? So cool. Because I looked up Christopher Lee's voice as well, and I loved it. And he was considered such an anonymous actor by Universal Studios at the time that he wasn't even invited to the premiere of Frankenstein in 1931. He was, the guy in he was Frankenstein, but he was anonymous. They didn't know him, so he wasn't even invited. All right, So he found out that the guy that made the song Monster Mash was a huge fan of his, and he replied, "Tell him I enjoy his record very much." And the guy that made Monster Mash, who was Bobby Pickett, said he considered it the greatest compliment he'd ever gotten in his life, and Karloff eventually sang the song himself on a television special. So there was a cool connection there between Boris Karloff and Monster Mash. His first Broadway play was Arsenic and Old Lace, and he played that in a role that was created just for him. And he was one of the founding members of the Screen Actors Guild, which I think is cool. And both his parents died when he was still a child, which is really sad. I don't know much about him when he was a child, but Frankenstein premiered when he was 44 years old, so he was considered a late bloomer. But I don't understand how that could be a late bloomer, since he'd already done 80 films before then. So I think it's like they may not have been as popular, may not have been well known, but he still did 80 films. And he never legally changed his name to Boris Karloff. So outside the film industry, he went by William or Bill Pratt. And he appeared in 8 films with Bela Lugosi, which is cool. And they said he was, this is trivia, but I don't quite understand this. So it said he was often thought of as a really large man because he was Frankenstein, but he was in reality a slim man of medium height who wore huge lifts and much padding to give him the massive look as Frankenstein's monster. But I think 5'11" is pretty tall. Maybe it's just because I'm short. That seems like a really tall guy. But his performance as Frankenstein's monster was an inspiration for the Marvel Comics character, the Incredible Hulk. So that's cool. And he once did a commercial for A1 steak sauce. But I think that's all the trivia I'm going to give you for now. I just thought it was neat looking into Boris Karloff a little bit. He's not like the biggest character in the serial, but I thought it was cool that he was in this, and it's a cool role. So.
He was hunting, slew the Raja of Rampur, and the stroke of its paw has changed the destiny of Robert Grant, a young American who bore a strange resemblance to the Raja. To save the Raja's people from the evil intentions of Prince Dakar, who plotted to seize the throne, Grant assumed the dying ruler's identity until the rightful heir could arrive and take command. Dakar's confederate, a hunter named Harris, accused Grant of having murdered the Raja. Proof of Grant's innocence exists in the form of a letter written by the Raja, which Grant has just recovered from Harris after a long chase through an African jungle. Grant tells his story to Commissioner Wainwright of the Secret Service, who agrees to send him back to Rampur with the letter, so that he may be cleared of the murder charge and expose Dakar's plot against the throne. That night, Wainwright is murdered in his office, and the Raja's letter is stolen from the safe. Grant, who is on the scene when the police arrive, is charged with the crime. Meanwhile, his friend Muriel Armitage, whom Wainwright arrested for the murder of a woman known as Mrs. LaSalle by an elephant which has seized her in its trunk,
Why, I just came in when I heard the shot.
You can tell that to the authorities.
Open that door. Open up there. Open that door. Stop that noise. I'm the only one around here that can help you.
Oh, Mr. Harris, please.
I'll make him let you go when you tell me where those diamonds were found.
Oh, I'll tell. I'll tell.
Call off that beast, Harris. Quick! Drop her, Toro. Drop her. The last time we met, Grant, you relieved me of a letter signed by the Rajah of Rampur. I want it back. I gave it to Wainwright. Wainwright? Yes, and Wesley put it in the safe. He was murdered tonight, and the letter has disappeared. Then why did you turn the evidence over to him? Because I wanted to be sent back to Rampur, so that my part in that affair could be cleaned up. Yeah, then what are you doing here? I thought you had stolen the letter, and I was after it. Well, that's a far-fetched story, Grant. I'm going to take you to Wainwright's office and see if you're telling the truth. I can't go back there. They suspect me of the murder. All the more reason why you should go back. Drop it, Toto. Now get moving.
Drop that gun, Harris. Drop it unless you want this gun to speak. Maybe you'd understand that kind of language. Now, Grant, take that pistol and make yourself scarce. Harris, travel in the other direction. That foreigner sure made fools of us. We'd better double back. He may be hiding somewhere.
Muriel. Muriel. I came to tell you that Wainwright has been killed.
I know. I heard you tell Mr. Harris.
I wanted you to know that it was your gun that shot him. In case you're asked, don't let anyone know that I gave Tom the gun yesterday.
You don't think Tom did it, do you? Where is he?
He has disappeared. But I'm sure he didn't kill Wainwright. Whoever did it was after the letter that was locked in the safe.
Well, who could it possibly have been?
There are only a few of us know about the letter or the diamond. It couldn't have been Harris.
Well, what about the man with the black glasses?
I'm afraid we can't suspect him. He saved me from Harris just now. That leaves the old lady.
Mrs. Colby? Oh, she's the one person who didn't do it. She's a Secret Service agent.
Mrs. Colby, a Secret Service agent? That's strange.
She asked me not to say anything about it to anyone. I shouldn't have betrayed her confidence.
It'll go no further. That leaves Peterson. He's the one I'll have to go after. I must go now. The police are after me.
Yeah, one ticket on the boat to Calcutta. When she shall sail, 10 o'clock, that's been good. The name Ben Peterson, Olaf Peterson.
No, Peterson. 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 Yeah.
Good morning, Mrs. Colby. Good morning. And no thanks to you that I am here to say it. If it hadn't been for Mr. Peterson, who took pity on me yesterday when you ran away and left me in that Arab camp, goodness only knows what would have happened to me.
You were going in to see Mr. Peterson?
I was, until you came along.
Come in. Just in time to fetch your bag.
I didn't come for your bag. I didn't know that you were sailing.
Hans, you're the man I want to see.
Where are you running off to?
When the boat, she sink, I lose all my animals, and I got to go to India to get some more tigers. By the way, could you let me have some lions on credit?
Oh, I guess that could be arranged.
I picked them up on the way back and pay you as soon as I deliver them to the New York Zoo.
Quite an affair last night. The murder of Wainwright.
Yeah? Who do you suppose did that? Come in. The baggage has been all ready to go. Never mind the baggage now. I call you when I want you. You will have to excuse, please. The steamship ticket I have to go see about.
Sure. I'll see you before the boat sails.
Yeah.
The Sahib take a chance?
You been sent for me?
Yes. How goes the quest for the Rajah's letter?
They got it.
Good. Then it was you who murdered Commissioner Wainwright last night.
Oh, someone shot him from the window when I was at the safe. How did you know that?
Think you, in the matter of a throne, my master leaves anything to chance? There never was a time when thy movements were not checked by other agents. The letter, please.
What you do?
Fool. Dost thou not know that the whole virtue of this paper is the secret writing on the back? Strange there is no reaction. This should bring out the disappearing ink. This is not the real letter. It's an imitation.
Not the real letter? How you know that?
Because if it were, the secret writing would appear.
I don't understand that. That's been the paper that was in the safe. Grant stole it from Harris and then gave it to Wainwright.
There you have it. Harris set a trap, and Grant walked into it. Harris must still have the real paper.
That Harris been a slick fella.
Then go and get it. If thou wouldst claim the reward my master offered.
Yeah, I get it. Stay where you are, and don't make a move. You might be able to fool Peterson, but you can't fool me. I've been listening to your hocus pocus about this disappearing ink, and it hands me a laugh. I know that's a real letter, and I want it. Produce that letter, quick.
I threw it in the basket.
I saw you throw it in the basket, but this is another new trick of yours, and you're not going to get away with it. You tell me where that letter is, or you'll never get out of this room.
Get her out here.
Hello.
Grant, Peterson took that letter out of the basket, and he's now at Harris's compound.
Hello. Hello.
So, this is just a new game, Harris. You knew Peterson took that letter all the time, and is now at your compound. Sit down in that chair. Put your hands behind you. I'll see that you don't interfere this time.
If I were sure that Peterson had that letter, I'd finish you right now.
Well done, Ilderim.
Praise be to Allah, Master. Of what use may it be?
With this, I expect to buy the secret of the diamond field.
From whom?
From the Arcane girl. Take this to the prison and offer it in exchange for information about the field of diamonds.
Miss Armitage, I have a message for you. You may not remember me. I am a confidant of Mustafa.
Yes?
My master has a proposition for you. Mustafa seeks the location of the diamonds. In exchange, has a pepper to offer, which you know is of great value to Mr. Grant.
And why do you think I'm interested in anything concerning Mr. Grant?
It is no secret that Mr. Grant has helped you and your brother out of many difficulties. See, my master trusts you. Now, tell where the diamonds are hidden.
Well,
They mean business, Harris. I want the real paper with the Raja's signature.
The paper that Chan threw in the wastebasket was the real letter. You let him trick you, you fool.
You call me fool, but I ain't been fooling now. I'll be Peter, son. The lion!
All right, I am at the start of the Diamond Head Trail, and this is a very famous trail that goes up to the top of we're in the crater right now, Diamond Head crater, and we go all the way up to the edge of the crater. So it's not a very long hike, but it's very steep. And I'm excited to do this because something, like I said, needs a reservation. It's pretty popular. You have to get a time, and I'm really excited to check it out. I'm a little further up the trail now. It's really not a bad trail. This part is all paved. This is just rock that's been formed, and there's a little handrail on the side. There's already one bench at the bottom. There's bathrooms, water fountains, everything like that. Past that is nothing, but it's getting a little steeper. And down here, if you watched the episode before this, I was in the jungle, and this is very much more like a desert. It's very dry, and there's a lot more desert plants and things like that as we go up. And we haven't hit the stairs yet, but that's a big part of this trip, is stairs, tunnels, and things like that. All right, so now I'm up in the more mountainy part, going this way and that way and all the switchbacks. I'll give you a view. So you can see there's people all over going on the switchbacks and this way and that way. And every which way. But it's later in the day, so even though it's really hot and dry air right here, it's getting cooler all the time. And up here, there's getting to be a nice breeze. So I'll probably lose my hat. Made it through a long tunnel. Here's another lookout. And then this is where the loop trail begins. So you go up this way, come down another way to complete the loop. And a tunnel. There's a tunnel here. This is the beginning of the stairs portion. I made it up to the top of the Diamond Head crater, and the view is absolutely stunning up here. There's a lighthouse. Unfortunately, it was so windy. It was just so unbelievably windy that any audio was unusable. So this is just a little voiceover. You can see Honolulu in the distance there. You can see actually a lot of the island, the mountains in the background. It's just one of the best views. There's also a little bunker. There was a lot of military presence here from World War II especially. So that was some of the military outlook and bunker stuff. And there is actually another bunker. If you go past, you go down into this old, no longer in use military bunker that you can kind of climb down in, go down some spiral staircases, and that leads to a tunnel that you take back down to rejoin the loop trail. So it creates a loop at the top with all this cool old bunker stuff in it, and then you make your way back down and head down the mountain again. I'm a bit beachy, but in an effort to learn a little bit more about myself, and also because I passed this really cool looking place, which maybe is why I connect with it, I decided to check out this bookstore. It's called Skullface Books and Vinyl. It's in Honolulu, and you just have to check this place out. It's like a horror, punk, like everything that I feel like I should love. And you know, like just even the outside window is really cool. I mean, I know it's hard to see with the glare, but really excited to go check this out. It's just really neat looking. And there are so many sections, like there's true crime, surf and skate, there's tapestries on the walls, skulls everywhere, there's comic books, superhero, weird fiction, which I like weird fiction. There's classics. They're playing good music in here, and I'm going to give you a quick view of some of this stuff that's in here. And here's just some of the vinyl. Of course, I was checking out all the punk records. Oh, there's so many good ones. Which must mean I like punk, because I was drawn to the punk records. So I feel like it's actually coming back to me a little bit. And this was another section that drew me in. Um, art on the walls. Tarot decks. Classic literature. And then just punk, Bad Brains, Black Flag, classics, of course. This looks like a little known treasure, but if you happen to be in Honolulu, I would say that this is a must-see place if you like books, records, horror, punk, metal. It's just a really cool looking place, and just the aesthetic is really awesome here.
In the African jungle and trained to obey an animal hunter named Harris, has led its master to an Arab camp. Harris had set the monster on the trail of Tom Armitage, who knows the location of a rich diamond deposit. Armitage, weakened by a bullet wound, has been held prisoner by Mustafa, the Arab chief, who thinks he has outwitted Harris in the race to get the secret of the diamonds. But Robert Grant, a young American disguised as an Arab, has rescued Tom and hidden him in a pit which the Arabs dug to capture a tiger. Meanwhile, Tom's sister Muriel has reached the camp and is bargaining with Mustafa to free her brother, offering to tell him the location of the diamonds. A mysterious man wearing black glasses, who has already menaced Muriel when she discovered the diamond deposit, steals up outside the tent to listen. And during Grant's absence, Mustafa's men begin to fill in the pit where Tom lies hidden.
Baby! Jungle, boy, find.
All right. To protect my brother, I'll tell you where the diamonds are. Go back along the trail toward the Matabele village. There, on the right of the trail, partly hidden behind some vines.
Uppsala, halalaha, pura naivkiri. Waiting. Allah,
We must be quick. Now is the time to escape.
But I can't leave knowing that Tom is here and in danger.
Tom isn't here. He's wandering out in the jungle. Harris and that beast are trailing him. We must follow him immediately if we are to help him. There's one horse here. Be ready when I come by with another.
But what about Peterson and Mrs. Colby? We can't leave them behind.
They'll be safe. Mustafa has no quarrel with them.
You! Somewhere in this camp, there is a killer loose. He tried to shoot me. You seen him? No, I didn't. Hey, Sally, go on.
I think I see man running, huh? And so you did. And he bowled me over. He ran out through the tent there.
You take the other trail and meet us later.
All right.
Just in time, my friend. You think you can stay on this horse till you get to Lobenga? Yes. All right, then give me your clothes and you take mine. All right. Why, Muriel, what brings you here? She can explain to you as you ride. Here's Muriel's gun. Now, you'll be perfectly safe if you head straight for Lobenga.
But what's to become of you?
I've got business with Harris. You know enough of my story to understand. Now, please, both of you, hurry. Come on with it, baby. Go! 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 All right, hold it. Both of you. You had better hand over that paper, Harris. Fool. Don't you know all I have to do is speak to Beamy? And that would be your last word, Harris. You don't look like anyone who would shoot a man down in cold blood. Don't I? You'd better look close, Harris, and you'll see that I'm serious. Grant. Bob Grant. After all that time I spent in prison for you, you still think I wouldn't shoot? Come on, hand over that wallet. Now, I expect you to follow. But don't try any tricks because I'll be ready for you. And I advise you not to show up again in Lobenga. Phoebe! Phoebe! We're back.
Would it be possible to have an audience with the esteemed agent?
Yes, it's important. I'm a busy man. Move.
You perhaps recall an American's attempt some time ago to take the throne of the Raja of Rampur?
What can you possibly know about that?
Since you know the case, you must recall that the American protested his innocence and swore there was a letter that would prove his word.
Yes, I know.
I have that letter. Recovered from the man who withheld it.
It's in Hindustani. You know what it says?
Yes. It was written on the Raja's deathbed and proves that the American was taking his place for a few days.
How could an American expect to pass for a native Raja?
Save for the color of their skin, they were alike. It was this likeness that brought them together and made them friends.
How do you possibly know so much about this affair?
I am that American.
That's impossible. You expect me to believe that?
After I escaped from prison, I assumed the disguise so that I might remain at liberty until I proved my innocence. Now I'm ready to go back and stand trial.
You mean to say you didn't kill the Raja?
His death was an accident which occurred while we were hunting tigers in the jungle.
Who's that sour-looking bird back there with the Raja? Why, that's his cousin, Prince Decker. No one must know that this has happened. Least of all, my cousin, Decker. Give me a leaf from your notebook. I have strength to write.
Lose no time in bearing this to my brother on a boat. And you, my friend, for the next 48 hours, you must be the Raja of Rampur. You've got to go through with it now.
You think you can get away with this Raja stuff?
I'll try for his sake. No time to lose. There's a bolo bush right outside the tent. Get me some of the berries so I can stain my face and help me change clothes to the Raja. Harris proved false to his trust, sold the information to the pretender Decker, and was prevented from taking the throne only by the arrival of troops. And to cover themselves, they accused me.
What proof have you that this fantastic story is true?
My only proof is the Raja's letter. To get it, I escaped prison, and hunted by the police of 3 continents, have trailed Harris ever since. Now that I have it, I surrender myself to you.
it will be necessary to consider yourself under arrest. However, you will have the freedom of my quarters until I've communicated with the authorities of Rampur. You'd probably like a chance to clean up.
Yes, I should say I would.
Mr. Wainwright, I'm Tom Armitage, and this is my sister, Muriel.
Won't you take a chair?
Thank you.
I stumbled on some diamonds in the old volcano crater near the Matabili village. I wanted to turn the information over to you.
That is interesting. There are people in this district who would not report a diamond find to the government, but would try and work it themselves illegally.
You know, this is the first time I felt safe in several days.
Somebody heard about my discovery and tried to get the information from me. I was carried through the jungle for days. I only managed to escape yesterday.
Did they get the information from you?
No, but a woman named LaSalle shot at me when she saw I was growing suspicious of her questioning.
Are you sure the shot was fired by Mrs. LaSalle?
We were struggling for possession of the gun at the time I was wounded.
I thought as much. Mrs. LaSalle would not have shot an innocent man. She was a trusted agent of the police.
An agent of the police?
Yes, and you may be sure that this department is leaving no stone unturned to solve the mystery of her murder. Wainwright speaking.
Number 62 talking. Information regarding the death of Mrs. LaSalle.
Yes? Yes? Oh, thank you. Check in again later.
I guess we'd better not take any more of your time.
Just a minute. That phone conversation had a strange bearing on the murder of Mrs. LaSalle.
Did you find the guilty party?
Possibly. You were on the boat the night of the murder, I believe.
Yes. My stateroom was almost directly opposite hers.
May I ask what took you on board, Miss Armitage?
I received an anonymous note saying that Mrs. LaSalle could explain my brother's disappearance.
Did you speak to her?
Yes, I had rather an unsatisfactory interview with her.
Rather stormy interview, wasn't it? And you were found in her stateroom shortly after she was killed, were you not?
Are you hinting that my sister had something to do with the killing of Mrs. LaSalle?
More than that. Under the circumstances, I must put her under arrest for murder.
This is ridiculous. An outrage. Come on, Muriel.
Get out of my way! Take your hands off. My sister's innocent. Where do you get your authority? You can't handle a lady like that.
Just a minute, old man. This kind of a scene won't help Muriel.
Muriel!
Oh, no, listen. We know that she's not guilty. But you can help her more by going about it peacefully instead of losing your head.
Yes, you're right. This is outrageous. It's things like this that makes outlaws of men.
I think you'll find, sir, that Miss Armitage is not guilty of the crime.
Mrs. Colby.
Good evening, my dear. I know how troubled you are, but Tom will soon have you out of here. I want to caution you not to tell anyone of the location of the diamond mine, not even your authority.
But I've already told Mr. Wainwright.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. That's unfortunate. By the way, has Tom been here?
No.
Well, when he comes, tell him not to mention the diamonds to anyone.
Oh, diamonds. I wish I'd never heard of them. They're the cause of all of our trouble. Why, this is the same handwriting as the note that warned me against Mrs. LaSalle.
Give me that note. With this two-way from, I may be able to help you. I'm connected with the police, but don't tell anyone. The authorities here don't know me. I'm working out of Calcutta.
Oh.
Now get some rest, my dear. And I'll come in tomorrow and tell you the progress I've made. Good night.
Good night.
That you, Grant? Uriel.
Stand where you are.
Wainwright has been killed.
Yes, and we have the murder.
Alright, so hey, check my outfit. It fits, it looks good. I'm not sure what my normal style is because I can't remember, but I'm liking this one right now. I am now at a farmer's market in Honolulu. It is very busy, but really cool. So let's check it out. Careful. So you can see very, very crowded. Lots of people, but there's lots of cool stuff. So I'm going to go look at everything. And this is taking place at the college on Saturday mornings. I'm here at what's called the Ko'olina. I believe it stands for Place of Joy Resort. It's kind of a resort chain of hotels. There's 4 man-made lagoons, but public can go into them because Hawaii law says all beaches belong to the people of Hawaii, and so no restaurants or no hotels or chains or anything can deny access to the beach in any way. So I'll show you the lagoon I'm at. It's lagoon number 4. Some of the other ones have chairs and stuff by them. That's more for the hotel. They tend to fill up faster, and definitely the parking lots fill up faster. So this one, it's hard to get parking if you don't get here early, but it is beautiful. Everything's very well maintained. There's water, there's bathrooms. And while this isn't known as being a fantastic place to snorkel, if you swim out there, you'll definitely see some fish. So I'm excited to go and do that, maybe catch some fish, see what else is going on.
The king of the wild is a monster, half ape, half jungle man, which Harris the hunter has captured in Africa and trained to do his bidding. Harris and the monster are followed by an Arab. The seeming Arab is Robert Grant, a young American. Accused of a crime he did not commit, Grant has escaped from prison to find and convict the guilty man. His real identity is known only to Muriel Armitage, who is also in the jungle. Muriel is following a trail left by her brother Tom, who, while unconscious from a bullet wound, has been spirited away by agents of an Arab named Mustafa. Mustafa is trying to make Tom reveal the location of a rich diamond deposit, a secret which Harris is also trying to obtain. Harris is trailing his captors with the aid of his monster ape-man Beam, but has been forced to seek shelter in the crater of an extinct volcano to avoid an attack of African warriors. The natives besiege the entrance, imprisoning Harris along with Muriel and Mrs. Colby, a Secret Service agent whose real identity is unknown to any of the party. Meanwhile, in Mustafa's camp, Grant believes that he has located Tom Armitage in a pit covered by a tent. But in reality, the occupant of this pit is a tiger.
Rid the jungle of this dangerous beast, or may the wrath of Allah be on your head.
Stop. friend of your sister's. I'm going to try and get you out of here.
We arranged to remove the body of the strange Arab from the tiger pit. I will go to the sick boy, and at the first sign of consciousness, force him to talk.
Yes, master.
He's gone! He's gone! Imbecile! You have allowed the most valuable thing we have in camp to be spirited away.
Master, we cannot be far. There was the excitement over the tiger and his delirium. He must have escaped from the tent.
Oh, God, wouldn't that be shame what Mahalo does? What later? But he trouble us no more, so we did. Take off. Get all men to scour the jungle before he wander far. Bring him back, or you answer to Mustafa.
Yes, master. Suluk mele! Suluk ilam sanayata, wefena. Abdallah.
So you happened to fall down there?
I didn't fall. Somebody tripped me with a stick.
Help! Muriel! Where are you? Help! Help! Muriel! Help me up! What you been doing, huh?
What happened?
How did you get here?
When you didn't come back, I became so frightened. I followed along. I got as far as this when a man came running along and bowled me over.
What kind of a man?
Oh, he was a great big man. The only thing I noticed about him, he wore dark glasses.
There must be somebody else here beside ourselves.
Well, there's that prospector skeleton in there. You don't expect it to walk, do you?
Well, when I was looking for another way out of the crater this afternoon, I saw a man's footprints in the mud.
There must be a maniac running loose, and he's probably using this old volcano for a hideout. We've got to get out of here.
But how are we going to get out with those cannibals guarding the only exit?
I got an idea. Your strength. I think it's gonna work. The lions which lived in the cave are dead. The white witches who slew our king are within. Who will be brave enough to go in with me and bring them out? Be not afraid. The Matabella is master over everything in the jungle. Oh, my warriors, it is the soul of your dead king who speaks. Harm not these whites, for it was not they who struck me down. Name the one who did it. Name him, O master, so we may avenge your death. Return to your village, knowing that a worse fate than you could devise awaits my murderer. Go. By the English, your been goddamn work. Phoebe, come here. Don't be afraid. He won't hurt you, as long as I'm here.
I don't trust him. He grabbed me when we were on board the ship the night Mrs. LaSalle was killed.
You can't blame him for her death. Mrs. LaSalle was shot, and Phoebe knows nothing about guns. I don't know who it was, but they sure going to find out who killed my Helen.
Which way will the banker? I'm going to get back to civilization.
Well, I'm going to continue on the way taken by whoever it is that has my brother.
Well, I guess I've been going with you. It's better that we travel together in the jungle for our own protection.
The first of his army, then shipwreck, then cannibals, then murder, then skeletons. My goodness, I'm afraid to think what's going to happen next. He disappeared. He's gone.
All right. Just ain't bad. They don't trust that Harris.
What do you suppose has happened to him?
I think he fooled us. He been after that fellow Mustafa. Maybe he followed him to his camp.
For goodness sakes, do something. Let's get out of here. That animal may have murdered him. He may come back after us.
We shall go. Any sign of the boys? It is useless, Hildrum. We have looked everywhere. She's an enemy of our master. Although we fail to find the sick boy, we may carry favor with the chief by capturing this man. Come.
think I see a chance to get some horses and make a getaway. You stay here and keep quiet till I come back. You understand? Any news of the sick boy? No, master. You get another horse. Bring him to my tent.
They have trailed far into the jungle and been in need of food and drink.
Oh, what a hot country.
First, I must see your chief.
Mustafa? Yes, lady.
Didn't you say Harris might head for Mustafa's camp?
Yeah, I did. Funny that the trail we followed should lead to this camp.
Well, I want to get out of this country as fast as I can.
Now, we eat first. Something will happen pretty soon now.
I hope so.
Now is my day made perfect. It is the grace of Allah that brings so charming a lady to my camp.
I'm Miss Armitage, and I've come to thank you for caring for my brother and to take him back to Lubanga.
I do not understand. I am Mustafa. This is my camp, but there are no strangers here.
I know positively that my brother has been here.
May it please the master, the hunting party has returned. I hope that what they have brought will meet with your favor.
Excuse, please, this interruption. You wait in the comfort of my tent till I return.
You will see that the young lady does not leave my tent. Yes, my master.
Miss Armitage, will you please come closer so that I can talk without being heard by the others? This man, Mustafa, has been holding your brother prisoner.
But why?
Your brother knows the location of vast diamond fields, and Mustafa doesn't intend to release him until he learns where they are.
Where is Tom now?
We were getting ready to escape when you came into camp. He's hiding in a pit now in that tent over there.
Imbecile, fool, master. I sent you for the sick boy, and you bring me the last man on earth I want to see. Mr. Harry, we meet again. The last time we meet, I look at you from the ground. You make an enemy of Mustafa. That is bad. Bring the prisoner and follow me.
I do know where the diamonds are.
It would be dangerous for you if they found it out.
Oh, I'll tell anything to get Tom out of the clutches of these people.
Wouldn't do you any good. They'd hold you both until they found you were telling the truth, and then silence you forever.
You stay here till I come back. Make sure that the white people who come to the camp do not leave. Fill in the tiger pit, so no one will know the strange Arab has been killed. Yes.
Fiend. You have him in that pit and you're covering him up.
Oh, you know he's in the pit, huh?
Yes, I do, and I know you're trying to force him to tell where he discovered a field of diamonds. If I gave you that information, would you stop torturing him?
You do not know where the diamonds are.
Would these convince you that I know?
You alone can stop the men from filling in that pit. See where the diamond field is hidden, and the men will be on their way.
Strange beast, the tiger is here. Stop orders you all to follow him.
All right. To protect my brother, I'll tell you where the diamonds are. Go back along the trail toward the Matabele village. There on the right of the trail, partly hid behind some vines.
Well, thank you so much for joining me for the part 2 of King of the Wild, which encompassed Pitch of Peril, Creeping Doom, Sealed Lips, and Jaws of the Jungle. These are all very dramatic sounding names, but it's a very dramatic serial, so it makes sense. And I actually really enjoyed some of my adventures. I love spending time on the beach, snorkeling, looking for fish. In any capacity is always really fun. I love any kind of hiking as well. So it's been a good time. Farmers markets, I'm just enjoying what I can. I'm trying to avoid a lot of the touristy stuff for right now, just because I don't really like crowds and there's a lot going on. And I just want to see more of the nature side of the island as much as I can. So the farmers market was real crowded for me, but it was a good time. And a lot of the beaches, so anywhere here you got to get to early if you want any parking. But I'm going to check out the Shark Cove area. I don't know if I'm going to snorkel, but definitely the tide pools, and see if I can catch any cool fish or anything like that. I'm always really excited to see if there's any fish, eels, octopi, anything like that. And yeah, I'm also doing a lot more research on who I am and what I like. I'm seeing if I can contact anybody from back home and let them know of my predicament. Maybe there's some help. I also realized why my bag exploded, and that was probably a direct result of me being a witch. Guess what? I'm a witch. Yeah, I have potions. I make things. I don't know how yet. I figure I'll learn or I'll remember, but some things are starting to come back to me more, so I'm not too worried about that. I think it's just a temporary injury, and all is well there. So thank you so much for joining us for part 2 of King of the Wild, and we will, and I know how to say now, we will hex you soon.